Hi, I'm Simon Wooding. I'm the Equipment and Observations Officer for AstroSoc, and I'm a second year Physics and Astrophysics student here at the University of Birmingham. I'm here to give you a short talk on what's going to be available to see in the night sky for the next few months. This is going to be a pretty short one, unfortunately, as there's not going to be that much going on in the near future that's interesting to observe. So starting out with this month, November's almost over, but you can see I've left the Leonids meteor shower in here because even though that peaked about a week ago, that's still going to be around until the 30th. So if you're somewhere that's fairly dark without much light pollution and you want to spot the remnants of this in the next few days, then you can probably try, though the full moon on the 30th may also impede your visibility for that, unfortunately. Moving on to December, which is a much more action-packed month. On the 13th and the 14th is the peak of the Geminids meteor shower, which is probably the best meteor shower of the year, in my opinion. It's got over 120 meteors per hour at its peak, on average, and the nearly new moon will ensure excellent viewing for this. So if you want to spot it any time around these few days will probably be good, actually. But for the peak, then either you can find it by looking for the constellation of Gemini in the sky. If you can do that, then that's great. But if you're like me and you're hopeless at finding constellations, then you can instead go for the more recognisable Orion here. And if you see the belt in the middle, then if you follow the middle of these three stars up in a perpendicular direction, then you ought to be able to find the radiant point up here. Although, to be honest, this shower is probably going to be big enough that you may not even need this. You can probably just find it with your naked eye. The new moon will be on the 14th, and then there'll be the winter solstice on the 21st, which means the shortest day and the longest night of the year. And this will be excellent news because on this night we also have the conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn, also known as the Great Conjunction. This is an event that happens once every 20 years, so the next one's not going to be till 2040. If you want to spot it, now's your chance. And this has meant that actually all winter, right now actually, both Jupiter and Saturn have been very bright and obvious in this night sky and both very close to each other. You may have spotted them already actually, they're pretty impressive. And they will be like this all the way up until this happens on the 21st. So if you want to spot the conjunction, this will be just after sunset, around 5 p.m. And if you look above the southwest horizon, they'll be just around here, and they'll appear as a very, very bright double planet, which will be visible to the naked eye and honestly pretty good in general. I'd recommend trying to find this. There'll be the peak of the Ursids meteor shower on the 21st and 22nd. This is a less good meteor shower than the Geminids. It's only a minor shower, but it's going to be pretty visible because the moon will set around midnight before the peak at around 1 a.m. So if you want to find this, either you can find Ursa Minor, the little saucepan here where it radiates, or again, if you're like me and you need a big obvious constellation to refer to, you can try the Big Dipper, part of Ursa Major here, and follow it up from the bottom of the big saucepan in this direction. Finally, we have a full moon on the 30th. And then for the last month, January, this one's not as interesting, unfortunately, but there will be the Quadrantids meteor shower on the 2nd and the 3rd. And this is an above-average meteor shower, so it'll be pretty good. The moon won't be that good for visibility, but it's still alright. And this one's a bit difficult to find because it doesn't radiate from any obvious constellations. But my best guess for finding it would either be to go up directly up from the northeast horizon, because it's not going to be very high in the sky, or you can try finding it via Arcturus and Boötes. From this bright star following along this constellation right here. There'll be a new moon on the 13th, and then the last interesting event for these months will be Mercury at its greatest season elongation on the 24th. So this will mean that it'll be at its highest point above the horizon for quite a few months, and if you want to find it, then it'll be the most visible in the western sky above the horizon just after sunset on the 24th. And last, there'll be a full moon on the 28th. Here's a summary slide if you want to take a photo or a screenshot of this to remind you of what's going to be happening in the next few months. This talk will also be available as a PDF on the Astronomy in the City webpage if you want to, for the next few months if you want to find that. And thanks for listening, and on to this evening's main event.